What's going on, G-Ballers? Today I have an exciting new knife here to share with you, and this is coming in from a company you might not be familiar with, Bezubin Knives. One of you guys actually let me know about this knife. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what your EDC is for today. Now, this Bezubin is interesting for a couple of reasons. These are going to come in right around the $30 price point. They are available, and I'll have links to them down in the description. For 30 bucks, you're going to be getting a solid material list here, but what makes this knife really cool is it is going to be a button pivot based liner lock. So you don't get to see a whole lot of stuff like this down around the $30 price point. We are going to be looking at D2 steel with a satin finish, nice drop point blade shape, and then we have a cutout and a rear flipper tab for the deployment. The detent feels very solid off that cutout. You can get in there from both sides and flick that guy open. And then, of course, that flipper tab protrudes out nicely. We can actuate that very easily, and the detent is tuned properly for both of those. Now, one thing you're going to want to probably try to avoid is pushing that button down while you're trying to flip it, because that will basically take the detent away from the knife. So that's something you're going to want to be cautious of. It does look like, yeah, that button will actually just kind of rotate around, so you can kind of place that B however you want. I do like they don't have any branding on the blade. The B looks cool. We are looking at green G10 for our handle material and backspacer. And then we have a recessed deep carry clip that is going to be left hand friendly, and the screws are recessed. I could do without the branding on the clip, but not a huge deal at this price point. And then we do have steel liners with some internal milling for weight relief. Now, this isn't a small knife, but it's not a huge knife either. Let's get a quick measurement on this fella right here. We are going to be looking at 2 7/8 of cutting edge, 3 1/4 of total blade. We'll call it 7 7/16. Couple of comparison knives. We have the Vosteed Raccoon up top and the Kaiser Militol on the bottom. And two more. We have the Benchmade Bug Out up top and the Kaiser Drop Bear there on the bottom. It's going to fall right in between both of those. Now, we should be in good shape for this pocket clip. It is recessed along with the screws, and it's going to carry nice and deep, so a lot of people will really like that. I would say almost venturing on ultra deep carry there, and it's going to look fine in the pocket. I don't know about any type of replacement clips because of how that is recessed and how that is done. You might be able to modify something, but at this $30 price point, if the clip is going to work as it is supposed to, I wouldn't even worry about it. Just getting your hands on something like this for the price point with this type of lock and these materials, I thought this seemed like a really solid option. And you guys know me, I am always hunting for a good deal on a budget knife. Whether I got to pick it up or not, I'm going to want to check them out just so you guys can know about it and what it is all about. Now, we're going to get the arch nemesis off the shelf here. We're going to give the Bezubin a weight check. I like to guess the weight of these new knives that come into the channel, and I invite you to play along. Put your guess down in the comments. Let me know what you think this fella weighs right here. I'm going to give it a go. It is perfectly centered up. It has a decent little bit of heft to it. I'm going to say that it's coming in. It feels like it's 3.4. But maybe a little bit more, actually. Does it? I'm going to say 3.5. It might even be a little more than that. 3.5. It is. No shit. Up at 4.1. I'll take that on the chin because it feels pretty good. So this is going to have some heft to it for its size, which is not a bad thing. We'll go ahead and get our calipers out here. We'll get a couple of measurements on our handle and blade. We're looking at 0.53 for our handle thickness and 13.6 millimeters. We'll go into the blade stock here, 3.1 millimeters and 122 thousandths. So very standard stuff there. And we'll get a measurement on the behind the edge thickness here. We'll just pick a random spot, try to get a good hold. And that's going to come down there right at 22 thousandths behind the edge in that particular spot with that particular hold, which is very good. Let's see how this cuts out of the box. We'll use our standard catalog paper here, and a drop point blade is a great blade shape for just all around everyday use. It is going to get the job done, do a good job. Let's see how this thing cuts, because that is the primary function of a knife. We want it to have a good edge out of the box, and this appears to have a very good edge on it. So excellent job. It's not like they're just putting out some subpar piece of, it's not like they're putting out subpar tools here with this guy. And it's not like they could cherry pick this because I bought this on my own, right? So, you know, we can kind of throw that assumption out the window. So this is shaping up to be a really cool knife at the $30 price point. I don't know what you could throw out there around $30 to $40 that would be more enticing than this knife is right here. I would like to say, though, an XL version of this would be absolute fire. I would say it's very close to something like the Kilo is from Vastid with the Vanker lock. Now we'll get our off-grid driver out here and we'll get a quick hardware check. It is T8 on the body. It is T6 on the pocket clip screws and T8 on the pivot there. So we got T8 pivot and body, and then T6 on the pocket clip screws there. If you have good bits and a good driver, you will be in good shape. I'd like to see T8 from them, but we're not going to hold that against them too much. We did check centering and it is on point. Like I said, the detent is good to go. I mean, nice and clean, good break on it. It's very smooth around the pivot, and you can push that button in and you're not going to have any drag on the blade. It is going to be free flowing. So that is really nice. You don't have to worry about over pushing on the button or something like that. And you can use the button if you want to open this guy up. So not only do you have the cutout and flipper, but you can also use the button to just throw this thing open. If you time it properly, it'll work like a charm. Now, let's put the Bezubin here up against the spine whacker. See what old Spiny has to say about this Bezubin character, right? So let's see here. We will give this thing a fair shake. We will throw it open. No up and down and no side to side play. So that is exactly what we want. We'll start out towards the tip here. We'll go light with it just to get us going. See what happens from there. Couple of lighter taps just to get us going, and it sounds good. Feels good. We'll check it. Go to the middle. Give it a triple tap. Go up to the pivot area here, and we'll give it a couple of more shots. And some nice controlled, strong shots. This thing is holding up like a breath of fresh air. Very nice. That is exactly what we want. We'll run it through a couple of checks here. Make sure everything is working as it should. Still centered up. Detent is still on point. That cutout works really good. You can use that cutout wherever you please, really. So that is nice. That works really well. Thumb flick is absolute money on this knife right here. Really cool. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of this $30 Bezubin knife with that pivot-based button lock? I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Like I said, I'll have links to it down in the description. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. That really helps me out here. And if you want to continue to see dope knife and EDC content, make sure you're subscribed. I'll pop a couple of new videos up. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.